The brand new Strife of the 8 KvK format has landed for some kingdoms. So in this video, we're going to talk all about everything that is known at this moment in time about how this new version of KvK for the Season of Conquest is going to work. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, a sponsored content creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and today we get to talk all about this new KvK format, which looks, well, I don't know. I was surprised to see some things here. So we're going to talk about what we see and then evaluate what we think about it. In general, I'm pretty psyched about new KvK formats, but there's a ton we need to uncover about the map and what we can learn from what we see here. The rules of the event, and so on. But before we begin, I need to give a huge shout out to NV who told me this was happening. He sent a mail, and I was reading it quickly, and I misunderstood, and I was like, oh, we've got a playlist for Heroic Anthem. Go look at that. And he was like, no, it's the Strife of 8, bro. And I was like, whoa! So here we are. Thank you, NV for letting us know this is here. So we're going to get a look at the rules to start. The Strife of 8. Some of these things look familiar. This is a Season of Conquest KvK, by the way, which means you've got to go through Season 1, Season 2, Light and Darkness, and then potentially you start to get some choices. Do you want to do the Heroic Anthem version of KvK, or do you want to go and do now the Strife of 8? There's a choice for your kingdom. Now, the Strife of 8 indicates that there are bastions. Barbarians hold this ancient land. It's holding it in a state of chaotic anarchy. In the name of our ancestors, we should drive out the barbarians, secure the kingdom's borders, plant the seeds of civilization. But before we could write a detailed strategy, traces of other kingdoms appeared on the border. Okay, so little context as to why other kingdoms are going into the same KvK as you. Winner takes all. It's an all-out war. Great. Bastions. Bastions are spread throughout the Lost Kingdom. Each of them is led by a commander and their troops. There are 12 commanders for governors to find. I think Heroic Anthem has 14. And then favor, you complete quests with Bastion commanders, along with increase your crystal mine work speed. I don't see anything about support skills just yet. I actually don't see support skills here. So there might not be any, but let's keep going. Special content. There are crystal mines. So there's going to be crystals again. There, you can do work in the mine. It costs resources just the same. Upgrading the crystal mine will increase the maximum amount of work that can be ordered. At the same time, completing quests given by commanders will increase the work speed. That's the same as Heroic Anthem. Crystals. The crystals which can be mined are a precious resource. Governors can use them to open up a whole new frontier of research. So there is a crystal research center. Resources or crystals cannot be plundered during the season, and they cannot be sent as aid. And at the end of the season, you lose all of your crystals, including crystal tokens, I'm told, by the way. So all crystals are gone. Your crystal research center is gone. Your crystal mine is gone. All that goes away. I've got feelings about that, but we'll talk about that in a bit. We need to finish understanding how this works. The Strife of 8 story. Governors will rally to their strength and do battle together. You can join coalitions. So coalitions seem to be a new mechanic that they're keeping for everything in Heroic Anthem, I would guess. And a coalition is where you combine multiple alliances together and you can reinforce each other's structures. There's a lot of advantages, and it gets rid of a lot of the hassle, by the way, of like pass sharing, which is a real pain in the butt. Teleport. Once past glory is over, coalition members can teleport to any alliance member's territory. And reward sharing. All coalition members receive first occupation rewards for holy sites and passes. Boosts. All coalition members receive boost effects from holy sites and passes will be open to all member alliances. Great. Building occupation. All coalition members will share the occupation bonuses from altars of darkness and ancient ruins. So this is very familiar and similar to Heroic Anthem. After the season ends, coalitions will automatically disband, say your goodbyes, and prepare for a reunion in the future. So far, familiar, but I still don't see anything about support skills from Bastions. So let's keep going. Reward systems. So there are season coins and conquest coins. This is exactly the same as we've seen in Heroic Anthem, and there are saved coins. So you keep everything from your previous KvKs, or I guess all your season coins and conquest coins, for future versions of Seasons of Conquest. So that's kind of cool. So all the coins, even if you don't buy anything in the rewards, and we'll look at those in a moment, you can save for later. The camp system. Here's where we got to look at the map and learn some stuff. This looks just... Wait, does it look just like... This is not just like KvK Season 2. I actually love the small modification I see here. Oh my gosh, this could be amazing. Okay, what are we looking at here? The main difference between this new map and the old version of KvK, KvK Season 1 and 2, you still have corner kingdoms. You still have middle kingdoms. But they have added a border, which I will point to, in this zone, the first zone that you battle in, so that corner kingdoms can no longer get 2v1'd. That is amazing. You can take a 1v1 on some other kingdom to claim a zone, I would guess, over here or over here, and then you get access to a zone that it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 kingdoms might potentially have access to. And I would bet you most of the fighting gets resolved before you even get to the Zig. That's my guess on how this KvK is going to play out based on what we see on the map here. In Strife of the Eight, the governors and their kingdoms will be grouped into different camps. Each camp must contain at least one kingdom in order to guarantee balanced camps. The power of all kingdoms in each camp will be counted by the system. These calculations are used to arrange fair matchmaking. Assuming this is the same as Heroic Anthem, this is all just flavor text. There's no actual implications toward the gameplay for these descriptions for these camps. So what I don't see here, however, is support skills on commanders. So this looks like, as the developers had described, KvK Season 1 and 2 with an improved map. I mean, I don't know what the chronicles are yet, but I have to think this is a big improvement. I also am inclined to believe that you must be City Hall 25 for all Seasons of Conquest versions of KvK. That's my guess. So I would bet you have to be City Hall 25 to play this version of KvK. So if we go now and we look at the shop, the rewards and the cost of these things does look identical. We see the Twilight Falls, Divine Abode, Flight of the Heron, Persian Dream. We see Ring of Doom, Greatest Glory, Horn of Fury, Concealed Dagger, Mora's Web. I mean, it's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff that we see in here. Nothing new, which, I mean, it makes sense. The whole point of this shop is that I think it's shared across all Season of Conquest versions of KvK. So I think this makes sense that we see the same sorts of things here, and over the course of several KvKs, you can work toward a bigger reward, like one of these city skins, which, admittedly, you used to be able to do that in a single KvK, which in many ways is better, but now I think it's more accessible to more players, because even if you're super casual about KvK, you can work your way toward one of these city skins, whereas previously you might have never been able to push a top 20. But we need to go back for a moment and talk about the Crystal Mine and the Research Center, because I don't see the description of the Crystal Research Center, although they indicate that there is crystal research. So I am a little concerned about crystal research, and my concern is the things that you can research going to be identical to what you see in Heroic Anthem today? In other words, if I back out and we look at Heroic Anthem here, we look at the rules, special content, this section looks the same. However, the main difference between Heroic Anthem is that there are 14 commanders, not 12, and there are support skills listed in Heroic Anthem KvK, whereas if we go back to the Season of Conquest, what do I not see? I do not see that there is support skills. So this seems like an easier way to get into KvK without all the complexities of support skills. If your kingdom especially has a lot of free-to-play players, it's entirely possible that this is a better version of KvK to go and play. And that would be because you don't have to be as heavily dependent on having so many commanders' expertise, because not only do you have to have the right rally captains or garrison captains, but you also have to have the corresponding best support skills to be leading rallies and leading garrisons. Not the case in the Strife of 8. So I actually think that's a nice advantage. I think this is possibly better or easier for free-to-play players. The big downside that I see, though, is just how much is the Crystal Research and Research Center going to be identical to what we have now in Heroic Anthem. If it's exactly the same, then that's going to mean that spenders in their first weeks of this event will want to spend as much as they can stomach, getting as many crystals as they can, before Pass 4 opens and doing the big fighting that's bound to take place, unless you're next to 2 allied camps, which would be pretty remarkable. But otherwise, I found in Heroic Anthem that if you front load as much of the crystal buying as possible, power up and tech up as much as possible at the start, then just cruise through the rest of the KvK and do less spending later. That's what I'm doing, right? I just pulled forward my spending, do less spending later. I'm able to really enjoy all the technology, but we need to talk about free-to-play players. Kingdom 2, which was in Heroic Anthem moments ago. They finished their Heroic Anthem, and now they had the pop for Heroic Anthem again. So your kingdom obviously gets to choose, like, how often do you want to go into KvK? But if KvK is going to start popping every 2 weeks after you finish your KvK season, I'm just guessing, I don't actually know how frequent it is. That means that, first of all, you do have a lot of control. And second of all, like, should you just enter KvK sometimes and just grind barbs and farm and not battle at all? Make some allies and be chill and give as many end rewards as possible and just grind barbs, and you use a season of KvK to repair in your kingdom and build back up? Because let me tell you, you could take 2 months and not do KvK and just sit in your home kingdom, battling the original level barbs, not getting any credit toward these rewards. I mean, it feels like you either want to, as a kingdom, get right back into the fighting and your kingdom is actually ready. You've got the resources, the troops, whatever you need to go and battle, or you don't. And if you don't, then, like, I don't know, should you maybe go into KvK and farm for a while? I think it would still potentially be about as fast as we have up to this moment in time been getting KvK pops. It's like once every 3 months. So you could take a KvK to farm and then boom, you go back in and a KvK to fight. That's pretty unfair to the rest of the war camp you're in, you know? I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip on some of this, but there is one other thing I noticed just now that's not here. Do you know what I don't see in Strife of the Eight? Hold on. If I look at Heroic Anthem rules, if I remember correctly, did it say something in here about a Hall of Heroes? It does not. Okay. So maybe there is still a Hall of Heroes in this version of KvK as well, the Strife of the Eight, where you get half your troops back. Now we see why they're giving you half your troops back, because if you're battling this frequently, wow, I don't know. If KvK pops every 2 weeks, do you want to take a month off between KvKs? Do you want to take a month and a half off between KvKs? The thing is that free-to-play players are going to get depleted of their research speedups. Even the ones that have already obtained T5 technology, they are going to get depleted of their excess speedups after some amount of time working on the crystal research. And I'm making some big assumptions here that the crystal research here is going to be identical to what we've seen in the past for Heroic Anthem. I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know. There could be entirely different technology. We know that over here, the bastions are different. There's less bastions and there's no support skills. So what is the technology going to look like? I would bet that it's more likely than not, however, if I'm honest, that it is identical to what we have today. Let me know down below in the comments if you think this new version of KvK kind of breaks the balance of free-to-play and pay-to-win. The fact that it's popping so frequently and eventually the free-to-play players, even the ones that have been T5 for a very long time, run out of their speed-ups and they can't push as much advantage as they could have previously in the old version of KvK. What I will say is that there is still another version of KvK, yet unlisted, in the Season of Conquest choices here for the 3 different flavors of KvK. So we don't know. Could it be that this will not have crystal technology? I'm inclined to believe that every one of these stories in Season of Conquest is going to have the Crystal Research Center, the coins, all that stuff. But I am also inclined to believe, and I don't know this for sure, but if I was guessing, that Season of Conquest might be one style of KvK that exists, but maybe there will be other styles of KvK that emerge in the future. It does seem like KvK is the big event that this game is built around, And if free-to-play players really don't jive with the crystal technology, then yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what will happen. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily Rise of Kingdoms videos. Throw a like on here if you like getting the latest, greatest news as soon as it lands. And until next time, you have fun, smashing the kingdom, and please do keep in mind, when I evaluate this kind of stuff, I don't have time to think. I gotta record, edit, go live. I'm sure that over the course of the next week or so, I'll have more refined thoughts around exactly what I think about this version of KvK, but the map does look good. I just, how are free-to-play players going to do here? I don't know.